El Fuego goes back and forth between standing on business and deciding to play it cool and walk away. But has he decided to give up on avenging Sandra? What's good, y'all? She says Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another All the Queen's Men video, and we're going to talk about that. One of my favorite characters, El Fuego, surprised me in episode 8 when he decided to tell Big D that he was going to chill. Well, Big D and Madam. He was going to chill on looking for the people who took Sandra's life and did some other extracurricular things before or after she had perished. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any of my All the Queen's Men content and conversations. I'm your good sis you love to talk TV with. We're having all the Queen's Men conversations that need to be had right here on the channel. You don't want to miss it. Subscribe if you haven't. Now, what is so kismet, and I'm so appreciative to this wonderful community, these dope subscribers, right? I love y'all down. Is that 5 minutes before or 5 minutes ago, a person named Lena Besos, hey boo, posted a comment on my most recent episode 8 breakdown, and she was talking about the El Fuego, or they were talking about the El Fuego character, because it's not clear of the gender, so I don't want to misgender you. I'm sorry. And my initial response is no, he is not going to give up. Even though we watched in episode 8 him say that he's not going to move forward with it. I'm hoping that this is additional build up to moving his character into the Breaking Bad and the navigating or the negotiating how bad he's going to go, how much of himself is he willing to change or give up. I think that there's so much depth and breadth of story that could be explored there, so I 100% believe that they could be going in that direction, because the opposite, in reference to like just having him walk away, gives El Fuego nothing to do for the rest of the series. But as I mentioned in my breakdown, I feel like the writing choices, and they didn't necessarily massage the writing enough to make this feel like a more organic back and forth. They don't communicate it in a way that allows for us to go on the journey of him wanting to go gung-ho, but then also not wanting to lose himself, wanting to avenge her and fight for the love that he had for her, and deal with all the guilt that he had around her coming to him in her final days, and him turning her away only for her to turn up dead, and like the guilt that comes from that. And then also maybe some of the guilt and resentment or shame that comes from, he actually did want to be with her, but he was so frustrated about her listening to her father and her being engaged and all of the things, and he had already grieved the life that he thought he was going to have with her, and then she pops up, and it just makes things complicated, right? Like there's a lot that could be explored there, and we're getting so little El Fuego in all of the episodes, and then we're getting even less when we explore his character or his storyline, even less tied to his reasoning, his mindset, and all that could be happening within his mind around the decisions that he's making as it pertains to Sandra and this killing. But I want to read y'all Lena's comment, and then I'm going to build upon that because it goes so perfectly with what I was thinking about for this video. And they said, I think the purpose of El Fuego flipping, and that is in quotations, is that he isn't flipping at all. El Fuego has shown this as a character before, where he is passionate about something and then tries to fight against the feelings inside. I think he is still internally ready to do what needs to be done, but is also very much level-headed as a person with deep convictions, considering that he is not willing to go as low as those people did, and confronting them would mean doing so. That shows his complexity as a character and his difference compared to his counterparts who are always on go mode. Though I do agree that it seems rather jumpy how they explore the complexities, which I think is more of an editing issue than a writing issue, I think they cut a lot of his development out of other storylines, which seems like an odd choice if you're going to bring his storyline to the forefront, right? Laugh out loud. But I think writing wise, they're pacing it for a true turn in El Fuego's character. It has to be slow and deliberate choice, a wearing away of his upstanding guy surrounded by sin. A great enough spark being finding out about Sandra's manner of death, not an impulsive decision like many of the other characters tend to do with their things. Now, when you brought up the editing choice versus a writing choice, I said, that's such a great thing to think about, and I would probably say it's both. Now, with the writing, I think the strongest thing that they have going on with the El Fuego character is the pacing, but the writing in and of itself doesn't give us enough to be able to fully follow the storyline where we're hoping that it will go. So again, I agree that it could be editing, because maybe like you said, there are things getting cut out, but because we're getting so little, I'm assuming that it's not there to begin with, not that it was there and it got cut. And then specifically with the writing, it's more about what they are having him say and not having him say versus the pacing. I think that El Fuego storyline, especially in the Breaking Bad and going to avenge Sandra part of it, is probably the best paced storyline within the entire series. The rest of everything else is either moving too fast or moving too slow. Detective Davis in this case is super drawn out and entirely too slow. Dime and Amp's relationship or redemption within their relationship is entirely too fast. Even if she was going to forgive him, it was entirely too quick, and doesn't equate for or doesn't really hold accountable how terrible he was in the beginning, right? Or in the time where he decided he didn't give a damn anymore. But when it comes to the El Fuego character, I feel like there could be more in-depth or nuanced writing, because like I said, we should be able to see the thoughts. We need to be able to see what he's particularly struggling with. How is the struggle manifesting? Because aside from, us watching him hack into cameras and listening to his Alexa, we're not watching him lose sleep. We're not watching him miss his gym sessions. We're not watching him struggle with much of anything else other than like saying, hey, I found this and this, or oh no, I don't want to actually do this. And I think that those are the nuanced things that are lacking with the writing that could also build along the storyline without forcing him to go after those people really quickly, right? Like if we're seeing an El Fuego who can't sleep after he decides that he's not going to pursue finding out anything or confronting these people, then I think that would be a beautiful and subtle way to still communicate that like his body and naturally, like subconsciously, will not let this rest until he gets justice for his ex. I don't know if they're going to do that. They're probably not going to do that, but they haven't been giving us that in the past. But this video was about, is he actually going to give up? And I'm going to lean into the side of no. And I think that Lena is also saying that he's not actually walking away. He's just saying that he's walking away because he does this thing with the back and forth. And that can be a very natural thing as you're figuring out how far you're willing to go, how much of yourself you're willing to change in reference to doing what's right or protecting the ones you love and all of that, which I totally get. My reasoning is more so in the lines of like they literally would not have anything to do with his character if they decide to go down that route. And also I think that I'm really, really hoping that he doesn't give up on it. But I also want to note that I'm also hoping that he doesn't completely just become Tommy or completely just become a babyface character and then immediately like lose all likability, lose all moral standing. I think that there is a dope relatability to a character who is not a killer but don't push them. Like so many of us feel that. So many of us feel like we're really great people. So many of us feel like, okay, well, I wouldn't actually do this, or I wouldn't hurt a fly until that fly is the reason why you lost your mama, or until that fly is the reason why, or the cause behind some extra wild stuff happening to the person that you really, really love. And then you are conflicted and you have to confront what you thought you would do versus what you're feeling called to do, and then navigate those emotions. Y'all know I've said it ad nauseum. Not only do I love how El Fuego looks, but I am very, very interested in the character. So I'm hoping that they continue to build and give him more airtime in reference to his storyline, because this is one of the most interesting things that we have going on aside from the cat and mouse as it pertains to Madam, and then Madam potentially turning on Blue and Blue lying to Madam. But I would love to know what you think in the comment section down below. When you heard El Fuego say that he was not going to go confront these men and that Madam had nothing to worry about because he's going to go ahead and let it go, do you think that he is giving up? Do you not think that he's giving up? Let's further discuss this in the comment section. And Lena, thank you again for your comment. Y'all, this is why it pays to comment, because we are really able to keep these conversations going. And I am so appreciative when I sit down to make these videos, because I have some of y'all's perspective to build upon. I love the point about it could also be an editing issue, and I think that you could 100% be right, and then there could be more and better writing. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It's your good sis, you love to talk TV with, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.